What is up, fish homies? I'm out here in my living room. Just filmed a little rig tying video that you guys are about to see. Well, it's kind of a mashup video. We got a bunch of stuff in the mail that you're gonna see. We got a rig tying video, and then we got a little fishing video at the end that shows you that rig in action. So let's start off with some of the stuff you're gonna need. First thing you're gonna want is some semi-stiff coated braid, or some coated braid. Yeah, this is 25-pound Camotex, and you're gonna want to get like probably a 12-inch piece. You don't need to use that much, but I always like to take off extra just to be comfortable. But like I said, you're gonna need about 12 inches of that. You're gonna need a baiting needle, which is just gonna help you get the bait onto your hook. You're gonna need bait floss, and that's gonna help you get your bait on your hook. You're going to need some Fang gyro hooks. These are the new hooks here by Nash. These already have the swivel on the eye of the hook. I don't know how easy it is to see that, but there you go. And then you're gonna need some shrink tube. Got that right here. Also for the hook, if you don't have the Fang gyro, you can use a size 4 or size 6 medium curved shank hook, and just put a quick change swivel through the front of the eye. You can look up the Ronnie rig online and that'll explain more. You're also gonna need a little hook bead, which is a little thing just to stop the bait from coming off the hook. Oops, I dropped mine. So there's a little hook bead on the baiting needle on the tip, as you can see. You're just gonna slide that over the point of the hook, and that's gonna keep your bait on there. You're also going to need a micro ring swivel. I don't have one in this tackle box, so I'm gonna go to my garage and get one, and we will get started. Okay, so here's a little quick version of pretty much everything you need to get started here. We got the bait floss over here, we got the hook bead right here, we got some coated braid, we got the micro ring swivel there. Let's get a little close-up of that so you can see it's just a tiny swivel with a ring on the end. We got some shrink tube right here, and we have the Fang gyro hook. We also got some tools like the old scissors and the baiting needle. So let's get started. Okay, so I don't film a lot of videos like this. Hopefully I can get it done well. Here is your hook, your Fang gyro hook, and what you're gonna wanna do is grab your shrink tube and measure it so it goes from the barrel of the hook right to above the eye of the hook. So you want to measure about that long and then cut yourself a piece. So once you have your piece cut out, you're going to want to put it over the hook. You want to be careful not to pierce through the other side. So I kind of like to get the point through, and then you twist it, and that helps it go on over straight, or else it's going to get all kinked up. You want to pull it over the eye of the hook, over the barrel. So as you can see here, I got the shrink wrap covered over the eye and over the barrel. The next thing you're going to want to do is heat that up. You can either heat this up over some steam, but I just like to use a simple old lighter. Run it over both sides. Be careful because sometimes it's a little hot. But then you can see there, that is your Fang gyro hook with a little bit of shrink wrap over the swivel and over the eye of the hook. The next thing you're going to want to do is get your micro ring swivel here, if I can pick it up, and you're going to want to slide the ring over the point of the hook. We got the ring swivel on the hook, we got the shrink wrap on. Next thing you're going to want is follow that micro ring swivel with one of your hook beads. And you're going to want to slide the flat end over the point of the hook. Some of them might not have a flat end. These are designed differently from different companies. These are from Ambush. So I'm going to put it in the pointy end like so. Slide it down over the barb. And you want to place that pretty much opposite the barb, about right there. I just like it so when you hang your hook, it hangs at a little aggressive angle, kind of like so. Next thing you're going to want to do is get your coated braid, and you're gonna wanna tie off to your hook. Now what we're going to do here is a little variation. You can leave this on and you can create yourself a Ronnie rig, or you can cut this off and create yourself a turbo German rig. Right now I'm going to cut this off so I can make this a German rig. This is going to be a little bottom bait. So it's going to have a big boilie topped off with a small pop off, and the hook's going to lay flat like this, and the boilie's just going to waft right above it. So let's get started with that step. Another tip I can give you guys is always carry a pair of wire cutters in your tackle box just in case someone gets hooked. So what we're going to want to do is clip off this big ring. Also close your eyes when you do that, because that will shoot every which way, and boom boom, you will not be a happy camper if that hits you right in the old eye there. So you can tie this on any way you want, any knot you feel comfortable with. You always want to wet your knots too, just for the fact that all that friction when you're pulling them tight can ruin your knot. Okay, so now we have our hook tied to our line. The next step is going to be to put on an anti-tangle sleeve. You want to put it on this step because it's easier to get it on first than try and slide it over the knot. You'll see what I'm talking about when you get further in. So we're pretty much almost done. We got our hook tied to the line. We got our anti-tangle sleeve on. Next thing we're going to do is tie ourselves a loop in the end so we can attach it to our pole. I'm gonna do this one about like 6 inches, probably maybe 6 to 8 inches. That's pretty much the size I like to do them at. Sometimes I like to do them longer, but I haven't figured out when I like them longer. I just know sometimes when the shorter ones aren't working, I put on a longer one and it seems to work, and vice versa. So what we're gonna do is tie a little loop knot in the end here, just a little figure of 8. And you wanna try and make your loop as big as possible. Okay guys, so you can see now we have the hook, we have the hook bead, we have the micro swivel, we have the shrink tube, we have the fang gyro hook itself, we have our anti-tangle sleeve, and we have a nice loop tied at the end. You're gonna wanna put a little spit over that loop and pull your anti-tangle sleeve up over it to get that out of the way. That is why you wanna put your anti-tangle sleeve on first, so that it's easier to pull over your loop knot. Next thing we do is grab our bait floss, and this is gonna be how we're gonna get our bait onto the hook. So this is just a little bait floss. It's basically unscented dental floss, so if you have some of that, that works too. And you can also use braid or mono or whatever you want for this step. So basically, you're gonna wanna find the opposite end of that micro swivel, which is right here, and you're gonna wanna stick your bait floss right through one side of the swivel. And I like to grab both ends of the bait floss and put them together and pull them through like that, just so it goes through perfectly even. And the next step we have is to grab our baits. You can see it's a pretty decent size. This is an 18 mil boilie, and this is what we've been using in all our past videos to get most of those fish. So I guess you don't need smaller baits in the winter time, and obviously these work well in the summer too. You can put 2 or 3 of these on the hook and it works. But when you're gonna use these bigger 18 mil size baits, you definitely wanna step up your hook size to a size 4, maybe even a size 2. It just works a lot better. We're gonna get ourselves a little corn on our baiting needle, and that is the first thing you're gonna wanna put on your baiting needle, because that's what's gonna go on top of the boilie. So you're gonna wanna slide that on. This boilie's straight out of the freezer too, so I don't know how well this is gonna work. Well, it works just fine. So you're gonna come up with a little finished product like this. You got the pop-up corn on top, and you got the bottom bait boilie on the bottom. Next thing you're gonna wanna do is grab both ends of your bait floss, stick them onto the recessed part, whatever you wanna call it, on your bait needle, and you're gonna wanna slide them on and down to the barrel of the micro swivel. That is how I like to set it up. And the next step couldn't be easier. You don't have to tie an overhand knot, but I like to, just to make sure the baits stay in place there. Let's tie one of those. Then you want to go ahead and get your lighter and burn down your bait floss. But that is your finished rig, almost there, guys. Just have one more step here. What you're gonna want to do is get one split shot, or you can use tungsten putty or whatever you like to use as weight for your hook links. And you're going to want to put it an inch down from your hook. I usually use my thumbnail for reference, so I'm gonna put it right here. And boom, guys, that is your turbo German rig at its finest, using the Fang gyro hook. And you can see that boilie will spin freely, and the hook will spin freely as well, because there's swivels everywhere, all over this thing. So right when the fish picks it up, it's going to boom, hook right into their mouth. As you can see, it hooked up into my hand pretty dang easily. So that is a rig that I love, and I pretty much only use that rig. The only thing I do sometimes is put a little bait stop on top of the corn if there's turtles or crawdads or anything that keep ripping off my boilies. Or you can also leave your boilies out like a day or two and get them a little bit harder. But other than that, there is your rig, guys. Don't forget to put the old split shot. That helps the hook turn around in the fish's mouth and get them right in the old lip. And hopefully with this rig, you can get out there and get yourself a few fish. Remember, like I said, me and Billy have been catching big ones and small ones on this rig. So don't think just because it's winter time that you have to use small baits. And don't think just because there's small fish, you have to use small baits. We catch like 5 to 8 pounders on this setup. If they're a lot smaller, you kind of want to be careful and use maybe a smaller size hook, just because they can get their mouth ruined. But let's get this in some water and show you guys how it sets up. Alright, boys and girls, got my little tub of water here. Let's check out this rig. So pretend you casted it in. Blow! Look at that, folks. It sits up just perfectly. The hook is still laying on the bottom. I know this is still floating up, but that's going to be attached to your line, and that's going to be sinking a little more. But this is just a tiny little morsel for them to see. Just gives them a little bit of something to hone in on, and something for them to go in and pick up and grab. The hook is hidden, laying on the bottom, and it is a perfect way to catch these fish, guys. Trust me. So it's not the best view, as you can see, obviously, but you definitely get a good glimpse of how this is setting up. The little pop-up corn is just lifting the 18 mil bottom bait, and it's giving the carp something to look at and something to grab onto, like I was saying. The boilie is giving them an ultimate attraction. It's packed with oils and a whole bunch of different stuff, and the hook is waiting there on the bottom, ready for a carp to swim by and pick it up and hook them in the lip. So if you guys want a legit rig to try out, test out the turbo German rig. Get yourself the Fang gyro hook, because it is awesome. Check it out, love it, like it, comment below, let us know what you think. But I'm promising you, this is one of the most best rigs out there, the easiest to tie, the easiest to understand, and it gets it done. And let's see, if a carp comes by, picks it up, look at that, perfect reset, boom, and it's ready to get picked up again. But 9 times out of 10, this is gonna hook them, boys, and it's gonna keep them hooked, boys and girls. So I hope you like this video. Let me know what you think. Peace out for now. We are finally fully prepared. We got like 7 PVA bags tied up. We got extra bait. We got a can of corn somewhere right down over there. We got both of us. We got rod pods. We got bank sticks. We got everything we need and some. I even packed up a new tackle box because mine got full of mold from the rain last time. It's not supposed to rain anymore today, but it's been raining all day. So hopefully the carp are still eating. We're gonna get there a couple hours before sundown and fish into the sundown because nighttime is the bite time, fellas and fellaettes. You know what I'm saying, Bill? Anyways, we gotta concentrate on driving. Well, Bill does. And I gotta just, you know, think about our next move. Anyways, we'll see you there in a second there, fish homies. We made it out here. We've been out here for like 2 hours, almost, probably like hour and 45 minutes. No action at all, but we just saw one jump. It's like 4 o'clock, 4:10 right now. Usually when we see the jumpers, the old action starts happening, and usually after 4 the action starts happening. So hopefully the old double dose of goodness brings in the fish. Me and Billy both had to pee in some bottles earlier because we didn't want to leave our lines, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully it all pays off. Alright boys, we've been here for like 3 hours. Finally got one. I don't know what it was. The sun's been down for a couple hours now and one just ripped off. We haven't had any other bites, so hopefully we can get a couple more, but it's freezing out there. And let's show you guys what this one looks like. Caught it on an 18 mil boilie with an 8 mil pop-up boilie topper. Alright guys, just caught this one. It's probably like 13 to 15 pounds. Not too long, but it's nice and bulky. It's freezing out tonight. This fish is like ice cold. But hopefully we can get a couple more. He ate my boilie off, so I have to retie my rig. But yeah, it's a nice fish after a few hours of nothing. Not even a bite. His mouth is bleeding a little bit. I don't know if you can see from that side. But we're gonna get this guy back so he can get some bigger. Hopefully tell his grandpa to come eat our bait. Tell him it tastes bomb. Alright guys, we gotta let this one go with the weight sling because it's a little hard to get him down these rocks. Nice big old chunker back to the depths. Alright boys and girls, that felt pretty gosh darn good. Me and Bill have been waiting here. Seems like what's been all day. But it's only been like 3 hours. It's just cold. My feet are always cold. You can see our breath. But yeah, anyways, I got those on a new rig that I tied today. I also ordered a bivvy tonight because we were so bored. So hopefully that will be some dope content and we'll be able to stay out later and you guys can see what the old European style carping is all about. How you feeling, Bill?
Oh, feeling good.
Taking a little napper?
Well, you know, might as well just take a quick little snoozer. Hopefully get woke up by some ringing here.
Gotta do
shortly.
What you gotta do there. We didn't have the best of luck, but we broke the ice and got one. At least it was a little 14, 15 pounder. Better than a little dink or something like that. But maybe we'll go back tomorrow, maybe not. We're kind of out of fishing gear, waiting for a little package to come so we can get some more hook beads and whatnot. But anyways, we got one fish, not much else left to say. We did get one bite at the end. It took my bobbin all the way to the top, but it didn't commit. I don't know what happened. My boilie was still there, my baits were still there, and everything was looking solid but it just didn't hook up. So maybe it was a big liner or something. I don't really know. Next week we're gonna be getting a bivvy and we're gonna be start fishing serious, because that thing wasn't cheap, and we're gonna be fishing in comfort now. So hopefully we'll be able to stay longer and put more on the board so we can make some better videos. But anyways, fish homies, peace out for now. I hope you liked the video. Sorry we've been lagging a little bit. We've been fishing and been catching fish, but just haven't had time to edit down the old videos. Peace out for now. Like I was saying, I hope you liked it.